Hello everyone, today I am filming a video that I never thought I'd film again. It has been a long time since I did a half and half video. I used to do these all the time on my channel back in like 2016, 2017, back when I was a makeup channel. I haven't done one in ages, but I thought I would do one today because I used to do these like then versus now makeup videos where I'd do half of my face how I used to do my makeup and half of my face how I do it now. I think I did a like 2017 versus 2018 one, I did a 2018 versus 2019 one, and then it stopped. I haven't done one since then, so I've got a few years to catch up on. So this is literally going to be 2019 versus 2022. I feel like it's going to look like the biggest difference because it's been many years, but also the biggest difference because I have changed my makeup so much throughout those years. So yeah, I thought it'd be interesting to see the two side by side. Imagine if I end up preferring the old one. I know some people will, like there are a lot of people that don't like how I do my makeup now and they will prefer the old one. Imagine if I prefer the old one. I guess then I'll be going back to doing it like that. I'm going to get on with it. I'm going to do 2019 on this side and 2022 on this side. Also, how perfect. I'm wearing like a split jumper when I'm doing a half and half video. So it's, ow. It's literally splitting me in half. Right, shut up. Let's go. So I'm going to start off with foundation. Back in 2019, I just started fake tanning, but when I first started, I hadn't quite got the hang of it, and I did look a little bit like a what's it. I was quite orange, and I feel like my foundation then had to be quite orange to match my body. So I don't have the exact one that I used to use, but I do have this. I feel like this is probably the most kind of orangey, fake tanny looking foundation that I've got now. Nowadays, I go for something a little bit lighter because I don't fake tan anymore. So I go for something a little bit lighter, a lot less orange. So yeah, these are the foundations. Do they look different? Yeah, I feel like you can tell. Back then I used to apply it with a beauty blender. Why is this not coming out? Are you in there? Hello? Hello? So yeah, I just put it on with a beauty blender just like I do now. I feel like my technique hasn't really changed much when it comes to foundation. I just whack it on. But I'd like to say now I'm a little bit better at blending it out sometimes. But I feel like back then it did look a little bit patchy sometimes, and now I'm just going to do how I do my foundation now, which again, same technique, like I said, smack it on with a beauty blender, and that is how I do it. I think I've put a little bit too much on. My goodness, you can really see the difference in the shades though. This is going to look so weird. Oh, whilst I'm patting this in, I'm going to do a little giveaway in this video because I've got so many beauty products left over from my advent calendar series. Like the ones that I haven't used, I won't give you the ones that I've used, but the ones that I haven't used, I'm going to do like a massive sort of beauty and makeup box to give away to one of you guys. So if you do want to enter, I'll have all of the info in the description box. I don't think many people are going to watch this because it's not really my usual kind of videos anymore, but the people that are watching, you are the real ones, so you probably have a better chance of winning because there's not going to be that many people that see it. Moving on to concealer, I have changed how I do it quite a lot. I used to use a slightly darker shade. This is number 2, but now I use a lighter one. This is actually shade 0. The other thing I've changed is the technique. So I used to take my concealer and I would just do a massive triangle under my eye like this, whereas nowadays I take my concealer and I do a little bit kind of in the corner there, and quite a lot actually, and then I also take some more and I kind of do like a line going up here like that, and then I just blend it all out with my sponge, and I feel like it makes such a difference. Like the one on that side, I don't think it really did anything, but this side it definitely brightens a lot more and just sort of like gives a little bit of a lift. Powder literally hasn't changed at all. I mean, I don't know how you can do your powder different. I guess no, I don't know how you could do your powder different. I'm still doing it the same. I just take this, you know the one, Rimmel Stay Matte powder, and I just pop it all over my face. So for this one, everything is the same. So for bronzer, again, this is just me talking about how I used to be orange. I used to use a much more orangey bronzer to go with my orangey face and body, whereas nowadays I use a slightly lighter bronzer, and definitely, I wouldn't say it's like cool toned, but it's a lot more cool toned than it used to be. So I'm going to take this palette because I feel like it's got a bit of everything. I'm going to say this is probably more like what I used to use, a mixture of these, whereas now I definitely go for more like this. I mean, in fact I do. I use this one all the time. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I also use different brushes, different techniques. There's nose contour now. This is actually going to be where it starts to look really different. Who remembers this old thing? I used to do my contour with a fan brush, which I'm pretty sure that is what they're for, isn't it? Wait, that's what I used to use it for anyway. I used to just go like this. I used to just kind of put it here, and I feel like I went a little bit too low down. I've definitely learnt now that I need to go higher up. I'd sort of almost bring it downwards. People used to always leave me comments saying, what you doing? You need to bring it up, not down. Did I listen? Well, apparently I did eventually, because I have listened now. But back then I used to almost go like this, like downwards. Never go down, always go up. And then from here, I used to just bring it all the way up here and all the way to the top of my head. There we go. I feel like that just about resembles how I used to do my bronzer. I was going to say my foundation looks so patchy and yuck, but I think it honestly used to, so that's a good thing. We're trying to resemble how it used to look. So eventually I ditched the fan brush and I swapped to one of these instead. This is just like a little tapered brush. These are so old. I've had these brushes for so long they're actually falling apart, but I really like them. Oh, what are they? They're the iconic London brushes, in case anyone wanted to know. And I make sure to just apply it at the tops here. I definitely don't go down as far. I keep it up. I keep it up here and I feel like that does look a lot better. And then instead of kind of going down the sides here, I missed this bit out. So I missed this bit out and I just put a little bit up on the top, just a little bit up here like this. So back in, I don't know why I'm waving that at you. Back in 2019, I didn't do any nose contour. I just didn't know how to back then. But nowadays, it is a part of my makeup routine that I never go without. I always do it. So this is gonna be really tricky because I'm only gonna be able to do it on half of my nose. So yeah, on this side, my nose is staying as it is. And then on this side, I'm gonna take a little brush like this, take a little bit more bronzer, and then I just go down this bit here like this. I would obviously then normally do the other side and then I would do a load of bronzer underneath. So I'm gonna have to try and do bronzer underneath my nose, but only on one side of it. It's gonna be really awkward. Then I take a little bit more bronzer on a little brush that looks like this, and I would normally go across the top of my nose with this, but again for this video I'm gonna have to just do it like halfway. I actually don't know how I'm gonna make this work. It's just gonna look really strange. I guess I'll just go a little bit like this. There we go. This is how I do my nose now. This is it before. It is time for blush, one of my absolute favourite parts of my makeup. And again, I've changed this quite a lot. Back in 2019, I used to use a peachy blush, like a shimmery peachy blush. I still have this in my collection. I feel like I keep saying I'm going to get rid of it in every declutter. And then I always think, no, it will come in handy for a video. And sure enough, I'm glad I kept it. But oh my goodness, this is old. So yeah, I used to use a shimmery peachy blush, but nowadays I use a bright pink matte blush. So it couldn't have got any more different, like they're completely different. And I also do a different technique. I still use the same brush, but back in the olden days, all right, it was only 2019, but I tell you, it does feel like a long time ago. A lot has happened since then. Back in 2019, I would take my little shimmery peachy blush and I would simply just pop some on the apples of my cheeks like this. So there we go. I just add a little bit. Oh look, more orange. Now for my 2022 blush, I'm going to take the same brush, take a little bit of my matte pink blush, and instead of putting it on the apples of my cheeks, I basically just, I feel like a lot of you have seen me do this a million times before. I squeeze my brush like this to make like a little thin brush. I need to stop saying the word brush. I put my blush across my face like this, so I kind of just do like a line. I sort of sweep it across like that. I've also sort of been bringing it up here a little bit recently, like almost under my eye up here. I don't, should I be doing that? I don't know. I just did it and I was like, oh, I can totally see how most people will probably prefer the other side because it's a little bit more natural, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure one day I'll look back and be like, what were you doing? But for now, I quite like doing it like this. Moving on to highlighter. I used to use like a really bright white, like icy highlighter. Yeah, I used to use like the brightest highlighter I could find. Oh look, I dropped something. What a surprise. Nowadays I like my highlighter to look just a little more subtle. I know what's happened to me. Like I just don't like the bright highlighter like I used to. So I'll go for something just a little more subtle, something more sort of champagne-y. Like, look at the difference. This is just a little bit more natural. So have I changed? I have changed the technique as well. In 2019, I would take the highlighter, oh for fuck's sake, and I would do it a little low and almost bring it across too far. This is something that I gradually learned. Oh my goodness, this looks so bad. Like, this looks way too intense on here. Okay, that's a bit better. I've blended it out a bit. But yeah, I feel like I used to just bring it across too far, and people used to tell me that. So I learned to not do that. So yeah, on the 2022 side, I will take, again, a bit of highlighter, same brush, like I've always used this little brush for it, but I now just put it a bit higher up, and I just kind of just keep it into like a little space instead of like bringing it all the way across here, and just pop a little bit like that. The question is, in a half and half video, if you've got to do a part of your makeup that's directly in the center of your face, do you do before or after? I think I'm just going to do how I do it now. So, highlighter on the end of my nose. I used to take the same brush back in 2019, same brush, and just dollop a massive lump of highlighter on the tip of my nose, which just made my nose look bigger. So nowadays, I take a smaller brush that kind of goes like that to a little point, and I just do a tiny little dot in the center of my nose. So I'm gonna do that version. It looks a lot better, let me tell you. Just a little dot like that. Eyebrows, they are very different. I have changed my eyebrows quite a lot, and it's another thing that some people really don't like how I do them now, but some people really do like them, and I mean, obviously I do like them, otherwise I wouldn't be doing them like that. But I definitely have changed over the past few years. So before, first of all, I used to use a darker product. I used to use the Benefit brow pencil thing in shade 4. I did used to have slightly darker hair back then, so it does kind of make sense, but I still do look at pictures and think, your eyebrows look a little bit dark, love. Now well, it's not that different actually. Now I use the same Benefit the same Benefit pencil, but in 3.5. 0.5, let me tell you, it makes all the difference. I feel like this one is just a much better shade for me. So that's the first difference. I definitely change the technique, well, or should I say the shape. I do a completely different shape. So back in the day, I keep saying back in the day like it was centuries ago. Back in 2019, I would take my eyebrow pencil and I would do, I guess, like a standard eyebrow. This is how a lot of people do their brows. I would just, oh my goodness, wait. I don't have the brows to follow because I now shave off the tips of my brows. So I actually don't know how I'm going to get the shape right. Okay, this might go wrong. But I would just go across here, and then here I would go down into like a tail. Is this right? I'm pretty sure this is how I used to do my eyebrows. I'll finish it in a sec, but first of all, I'll show you how I do them now, even though most of you guys already know. So I'm going to take slightly lighter pencil and I just go again across like this, but instead of going down on the tail, I just keep going. So yeah, we've got drooping downwards eyebrow and straight across eyebrow. This is the bit that's gonna split the audience. I feel like some of you are gonna like this one and some of you are gonna like this one. I'm gonna go, they're not done yet, by the way. Oh my goodness, they're not done. I'm gonna go and finish my eyebrows off camera. Okay, eyebrows are done. This is the difference between the two. I just think the newer one looks better. I think this one was definitely a little bit too dark, a little bit blockier, and I feel like even though arched eyebrows look good on pretty much everyone, I feel like on me, the straight eyebrows just suit my face a little bit more. I also ran a bit of brow gel through both of them. I don't think I've really changed how I do that. I mean, I don't know how you can. You just go like that. Now I'm going to move on to my eyes. Again, I feel like they're going to look quite different as a running theme here. Everything looks different. I now do a little bit of eyeliner. Not all the time, but sometimes I do a little bit of eyeliner. Whereas back then, I think I avoided it all the time. So I'm going to do eyeliner on this eye. I promise this looks less weird when I've done my mascara. At first it does look a little strange, but I've done my eyeliner and I've also done my little eyeliner drawn on eyelashes that I do on the bottom. I've been doing that for the past, how long have I been doing it? Maybe the past year now. I don't know why, but I like it, but it does look strange when you don't have mascara on. But yeah, I'm still learning with, what was it called? Not mascara, with eyeliner. I'm still learning, but I feel like it's getting better. Like, it's getting better. It's getting better, right? Tell me it's getting better. Speaking of mascara, I'm now gonna do my mascara. I feel like this hasn't changed. Like, I don't really know how I could have changed it. I mean, you can only really do mascara one way. You open this, you wiggle this on. You probably don't want to watch me, put mascara on, so I'll probably cut this bit out. Okay, mascara is done. I feel like my mascara always looks better on this side anyway. I think I just have better eyelashes on this side, but there we go. Mascara's done. I'm now going to move on to like a Kohl pencil liner. Never used to use one of these back in 2019, but 2022 I do. I like to use one of these, and I just put a little bit of white on like the under bit. What is it? Waterline. Bit on my waterline here. I'll be back in a sec. You don't want to watch me tugging at my eyeball. And then finally for eyes, I wasn't sure whether to include this bit because I don't do this all the time. Like I wouldn't say it's part of my everyday makeup routine. Last year, I finally discovered a way that I can have fake eyelashes because as we know, I suck at fake eyelashes. I can't make them look good, so I never wear them. So there won't be any fake lashes on the 2019 side. But I now have a way that I can have fake lashes using the Kiss Mascara, is that what it was called? Yeah, Kiss Mascara lash extension thing. You're not supposed to use this with mascara, I don't think. It is supposed to just be used on its own as like lash extensions. But sometimes I take the little outer ones and I just pop some under here over my mascara, and it just like adds a little extra something. So I thought I would pop that on this eye just for this video to celebrate the fact that I finally have a way of having fake lashes. So I'm just gonna shove one under there. A little bit like that. I guess it's not that noticeable because they are quite wispy, but I feel like it adds a little something to the outer corner. I don't know. They definitely look better on their own without mascara, but I like to just add a couple on the outside every now and again. I feel like with my eyes, it's definitely personal preference. Some people prefer like a much more natural, simple look, just simple mascara. Some people might prefer my weird concoction of things that I do for this eye. I say this, I normally do it on both, but you know what I mean. I just quite like this. I don't really know what it is. I don't know what's going on, but I like it. Finally, I'm gonna do my lips. So back in 2019, I used to use, well, I got the exact product. I used to use the Revolution Sophie lipstick in the shade Syrup. This is kind of like, well, it's just like a typical sort of nudie shade. It's like a brownie nude. And in 2022, I'm still using a Revolution Sophie lip product, but this is one of Sophie's newer ones. This is the lip kit in Candy Icing. So this one's like a little bit more of a pinky nude, I'd say. This one's slightly more brownie. This one's more pinky. I feel like I used to do very subtle lipstick. Like I'd almost just dab a little bit on. I definitely didn't use it to kind of like define my lips at all. It was more just to add a tiny bit of colour. So I used to just sort of dab a little bit on. But nowadays I like to get out my lip liner and do a little bit of overlining. Not too much, but just a little bit. So yeah, I start off by slightly overlining my bottom lip and then bringing it up here, and then same again on my top lip, but I also go over the Cupid's bow bit. This is going to be really hard to do on just half of it. Okay, it wasn't that hard, it just looks kind of weird having it only on half. So yeah, that is how I line my lips. And then if I fancy a bit more of like a balmy kind of look, I take the lip balm from the lip kit and I just add a little bit of that on the top. I feel like you can definitely see the difference now they're next to each other. Like this is definitely more of like a pinky nude, that's more of like a brownie nude, and the overlining definitely does make a big difference. So there we go. Oh my goodness, I'm done. This is my makeup done. That took me a while. I forgot how long makeup videos take to film. Damn. What do you guys think? Do you prefer, wait, let me try and like cover. Do you prefer how I used to do my makeup back in 2019? Or do you prefer how I do my makeup now in 2022? You guys pick. Let me know down below which one you prefer. I honestly feel like a lot of people might say this side, but that is okay. I'm not going to be offended. I don't mind. It's definitely personal preference. Like, it's whatever you prefer. I do feel like on this side, I've now learned a few techniques that are better, but some of them are literally just going to be, it depends if you like that or if you like that. I like this side more. That is why I do it, so that makes sense. I tell you what though, it doesn't help that this is my good side. Like this is just generally my better side that I look better on. So that probably doesn't help, but anyway, I need to shush. I've been filming for ages. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you did. Something a little bit different, but I hope you liked it. I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.